Hi, welcome to this week's Monday Mercy. A few months before the pandemic, Jubilee Plus published a booklet called A Deepening Crisis. We put a question mark on the end of the title because though we had a really strong prophetic sense that the lives of those in poverty were about to become even harder, we couldn't foresee what would cause this to happen. 3 years on, and the landscape of poverty and the level of need in our nation has changed beyond recognition. Our social justice activities have had to adapt, sometimes repeatedly, in light of the pandemic. And you no longer have to be prophetic to see that many in our communities are facing the devastating impact of the cost of living crisis. And sadly, as always, it is the most vulnerable who are being hit hardest. Hardly a week goes by without us learning that the lives of those who are already struggling or those who are just about managing are going to be hit even harder than originally anticipated. And now, just a week and a half ago, we've heard that energy bills for a typical household will rise to £3,500 a year from the 1st of October. So as Christians, as churches, are we prepared? It can be really hard to get the time and the space to think through how we can best help people over the coming months when we're already working flat out supporting people in need in our communities. That's why we've just put together a very short leaflet called Responding to a Deepening Crisis, with some simple pointers which we really hope will help you as you support people within your church, in the community around you, and actually play a part in bringing about change as well. The suggestions are under 3 headings. The first one is changed churches. One of the key hallmarks of the people of God, something that was supposed to be a distinctive that set us apart from every other group of people, was and is that there should be no one in need in the church. This was true for the Israelites, and it was true for the early church, and it's been God's intention for his people all along that we should stand out because of the complete lack of poverty in our midst. So as the cost of living crisis bites people in our church families, there are some suggestions we've got as to how we can respond. Secondly, changed lives. We're anointed to bring good news. Throughout all of church history, care for those in poverty has flowed out from the church into the surrounding communities. We were made to be a blessing, and if God's heart is for those who are trapped in poverty or injustice, it's inevitable that when we're walking closely with Jesus, we will do good to those in need around us, not just within the church. And many of us are already doing this. Many of us are wondering, how on earth can we do more if the needs around us increase dramatically? But the booklet offers some ideas as to how we can extend what we are already doing. And finally, changed communities. In the Bible, God tells us to seek the welfare of the places where we live and to speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute, to defend the rights of those in poverty and in need. So as well as offering practical hands-on support to those who are struggling with the cost of living crisis, there's a role for Christians and for churches in our communities and in our nation to advocate for those facing hardship where we can. We hope you'll find the booklet really helpful. You can find it in the resources section of our website. And you may also want to come to this year's Churches That Change Communities conference, which has the same theme of responding to the deepening crisis around us. Booking for that is now open and also can be found on our website. Have a great week.